Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome back if you've been here before. Welcome if you're new. Please like and subscribe. I am growing my channel. I am so grateful to everybody that joins me every single week, and it'd be amazing if you could show me some love. Today is the podcast preview, so those of you that don't have time to listen to the full podcast or you prefer to watch and see, every week I offer 5 to 10 minutes of a little snippet into the podcast, what to expect, it's like lifting up the blanket to see what's inside before you actually get into bed, or dipping a toe into the swimming pool. This week's podcast is something that I've been working on for a while, and it's something called the Saviour Complex, or the White Knight Complex. So you may have heard of this, or you may be able to just piece it together and work out what it is. And in the podcast this week, I share my own stories. I'm going to give you one example now, and then you can listen to the rest of the podcast, the links in the show notes, and ways to overcome and why we need to overcome. So the Saviour Complex gets in the way of our own health and well-being, because we spend most of our time, if not all of our time, when we're going through this, of trying to be there for everybody else, and we come last. So one example that I shared in my podcast, so it's a really basic example, but it really sort of shows where my mind used to be at. So years and years and years ago, somebody needed a car. In the UK, you need to have insurance, but I was like, you can use my car, it's fine. So jumping in there, not thinking about no insurance, I could get in trouble. What if they get pulled over? I'm not going to have my own car. I just filled it up with petrol as well. And this was at a time where, I didn't just have, I think I just put £5 in the car, but I can remember this one time I put 20. That was a lot, £20 all in one go in the car. So let my car go, and I think it was maybe 2 days later, I was like, I need my car. Like, I had somewhere to go. So I text, hi, do you mind dropping the car off? No reply for hours and hours and hours. Eventually I got a reply, and it wasn't until, oh yeah, thanks, amazing, I'll come and drop the car off. I put the petrol back in. It was, oh, I can't bring it, can you just come and get it? So then I said yes. Then I have to pay for a taxi to go to my car, which was low on petrol, have that panic of, I'm going to run out of petrol, to go and get petrol, put more petrol in. So me giving my car to somebody cost me not having my car for the weekend, but probably about, I had to fill it up again, say 40 or 50 pounds, including the taxi. And that was just because that made me feel good by saying, yes, you can have my car. The reason no one else said it was because it was a stupid idea, and they probably knew that what was going to happen. But that was me at my height of my Saviour Complex. That was me at the height of wanting external validation for being that person that's so cool that I let other people drive my car. And that's a basic example, but it's one that stands out to me because now I'm like, oh my God, what an idiot. I wouldn't do it now. I need my car. I need insurance. And I have lots of other examples that I do share in the podcast. But the main thing is that we start to really think about, who am I doing this for? Am I doing this because I want to help and they have asked me for help, or am I doing this because it's going to make me feel good? And we really need to reflect on that. So once we have the awareness of, oh my God, I'm trying to be this white knight for everybody, and it's to the detriment of my own health. Once we have that awareness, just being able to set those boundaries. And I didn't have the awareness until a couple of years ago when my mentor explained the Saviour Complex to me, and I was like, yes, I do that. I don't set boundaries. I say yes to things I want to say no to. I give people things, offer people things, offer advice, take on everyone's worries, but I don't want to share mine because I don't want to feel guilty, or I don't want them to, worry about me, and not protect, like we need that as well. It has to be a two-way thing. So if you're this white knight, you know, we're not going to people for help because we're the white knight. So then it's all consuming. So you're taking on everyone else's energy and not protecting your own. So listen to the podcast and reflect. I'd love to hear in the comments if you too have experienced this or you are working on this. And it takes a while. It takes courage because you have to learn how to say no. You have to learn to do things for yourself. You have to learn that not everyone wants saving. I spent 5 years in a relationship on this white horse, being a white knight, trying to save not only the relationship but the other person in the relationship who didn't want saving. And then it made me have mental health problems, and the relationship was toxic, and it was arguments every weekend, and it was violent, and it was toxic, and it was horrible, when I should have just let it go, got off the horse and said, you can save yourself. It's not my job to save you. But I didn't do that for 5 years, 3 years. I'd say 2 years were okay. So yeah, that's it. That's my podcast preview for this week. Please go ahead, listen to the podcast. Let me know if you have any questions. Like, subscribe, find me on my socials, and I will see you next week.